Which one is it? Is it this one? It's this one. And my camera's not working. That's just the cherry on top. That is phenomenal, man. Actually incredible. All right, well, give me 1 second and I'll have the camera up and running, but YouTube is on my shit list now. Just the normal stuff. They can hear me. I'm audible now. It's streaming now. I don't know. They're getting to decide. It's up to them. What?
Is it a game? Or
no, it's not a game. It's just a stream. That's why I said they are going to decide. I know. I'm just stressed out. I'm stressed out about the last 5 minutes of trying to make the stream work. I know. I'm not mad. I'm just a little like, you know. I'm just on edge about this because it still says it's up and like upcoming. It's all right. Let's delete the one. This one should be working now. Ella, why are you screaming again? Why is this? Why are you doing this? I know. Okay. Oh my God. Where is it? There we go. It's all good now. It's working. Thank the Lord. I killed the other one. This one's going. Good God, YouTube. Like, I mean, just actually impressively bad on YouTube's part. This is absurd. Wait, how many streams are there going right now? Are these the same time? Okay, these are the same stream, just separated for some reason. Okay, everything's here. Cool. Whew. Let's go. All right, guys. What do you, yeah, I didn't really make a ton of plans for this one because I just, you know, it's been a while, so I figured I would let you guys have a little bit more of the decision-making capabilities here. So yeah, let me know, you know, is there, what you guys want to see, I guess. So, I figure we can take a look at some of the conspiracy content that we look at. We could do, some more nukes. It's been a while since we went through some of those nukes videos, but the makeup of our channel's following, our main channel, has kind of evolved a little bit over the last few months, so I don't really know what to do with these anymore because, you know, I want to have it be at least somewhat connected. I want to draw over that same audience, but then at the same time, I know that you guys like to see some of the paranormal stuff on here, so what we got? Analog horror? That is the one thing I'm not feeling like doing tonight. It's just, I feel like it gets... that's something I feel like I gotta sit down and, like, prepare myself for. No games for this one, because this is gonna be this is one of our... Going back to the old format of trying to have a reaction stream every week. Because this was always popular. It was actually my most popular stream that I did on my own. But in bringing it back, it's been so long. I'm trying to work things out. But I'm curious, you know, what are you guys feeling? Are you feeling more Unsolved Mystery, more paranormal? You know, Nukes, Lazy Masquerade, Tartaria kind of thing. Ooh, I do like Lazy. Totally not JMO. We're not doing Elders of Zion. That's gonna get me banned just for reading it. Cryptic Exciting. What's that? Or did you mean Cryptid Sighting? Let's see, what do we... Olympic boxer. Guys, not the political stuff. Are you trying to get me canceled? Right now, there is a huge thing going on because of Chris Tyson, Ava Tyson. I actually don't know what the proper term is at this point. Like, I haven't been following the situation carefully enough to know, but I'm not going near any of that right now because it's just going to get wrapped up into that same controversy. I have no interest in getting canceled because somebody on the internet misunderstood a thing I said. You know, I've already had to deal with Tyler this year. I don't want to do it again. But what else? I'm looking through here. Okay. Unsolved Mysteries. All right, let's take a look at some Lazy Masquerade. Let's see what we got from him, and then maybe we do YouTube. Let's also grab some nukes top 5. Because this guy has been really one of our go-tos in the past. And new stuff. I haven't actually watched any of his stuff in a while, so hopefully we'll get new stuff. Yes? Okay. Yeah, I will order food. I know I didn't forget. I'm just trying to get things started.
No, I know.
Okay. What did yeah, okay. There we go. All right. So, let's see what Lazy's got. Any new stuff, because that's kind of what determines what I'll go with.
In today's
All right, 6 days, mysterious videos and disturbing backstories. That could be fun. I want unsolved. That's what I want, though. You know, that's the fun stuff. That's solved mysteries. The Lake Bodom incident. Finland's most unsolved mystery. I'm not sure how most cryptic unsolved mystery. I was gonna say I'm not sure how something could be the most unsolved. You know, but I would not put it past not Lazy, but I would not put it past a YouTuber, to do that. That one's, oh my god, 5 hours long. Good lord, man. That's unsolved. Japan's unsolved. Cases with disturbing video evidence could be cool. Unidentified wiki pages. I don't totally remember what that means. I think we have looked at this one in the past, I think. I don't think to that extent, but is that brand? I think that one's the Brandon Swanson one. All right, unsolved mysteries that will make you question mankind. That seems like the place to go, right? The way to do things. Let's go here. Ugh. And I have to order Chinese food while we do this.
Today's video is sponsored by Raycon. The most wonderful time of the year is upon us.
Is it just me, or is the audio a little, like, funky, like a little canned?
But let's not pretend the holidays don't get a little chaotic.
Hang on. I'm gonna check something. Yeah, my headphones are being funky right now. What the hell? Why can't anything go right today? This is killing me, guys. This is not my day.
From time to time.
There we go. It was
Whether
probably
you're at a
connecting to
bustling
both my
airport,
phone and my
last
computer.
minute shopping for presents, or are at home, surrounded by your extended family on the big day.
Usual?
Sometimes it's nice to disconnect for a little while. And whenever I want to zone out,
Okay.
I pop in my pair of Raycons.
I'm okay with that.
Raycons wireless earbuds, headphones, and speakers.
We don't need to watch an ad while...
To get the nubated slack.
There we go. Okay.
Tom Johnson is a riddle. He had a smile and a way of talking to you that made you feel very much at ease. Tom Johnson could be someone's coworker. It could be someone's, acquaintance, and they would have no clue that this other side is there at all until it was too late.
Beef, broccoli. Alright.
The year was 1992. Jeremy Rolfs and his fiancée, Heather Offelman, were both seniors at Middle Tennessee State University. Intelligent, resourceful, and well-liked, this pair of 22-year-old lovebirds had bright futures ahead of them.
Yep.
And with their time at university fast coming to an end, they were eager to start their careers, put a down payment on a house, and one day settle down with some kids, and all the other trimmings of the American dream.
There we go. Now we're back to it.
But as we all know, that dream doesn't come cheap. And so, during his final year of studies, tech-savvy Jeremy worked part-time as an editor at a music video company in Nashville. That way, he and Heather would at least have some plans to start their new life with. That September, his boss tasked him with placing an ad in a local publication. The company wanted to sell their Macintosh Quadra 950, a top-end computer at the time, that they were hoping to get
That's absolutely hilarious to think about.
$30,000 for. On October 7th, Jeremy was contacted by a prospective buyer who had seen his ad. A man who called himself Tom Johnson.
Also, just really quickly, Lord Sevitt, to give you a very simple explanation for it, policing, up until even really like the 80s, was mostly guesswork. Like, you didn't have DNA, you didn't have, reliable, like, fingerprinting wasn't a reliable thing that people did all the time. So you didn't have, a ton of records of that. You did not have the internet. You had to make a phone call to figure things out. There was no quickly running online and saying, oh, are there any news stories about this in a different town? It was very easy to just kill somebody in one county, drop them across a different county's line, and nobody was going to think about where they might have come from because it's harder to track down who that person is and identify them. They might not even get identified because you dropped them 30 miles away. So, and that's like, again, 70s and 80s, like detective work was more Sherlock Holmes than it was CSI. Once you get into the 90s and you have real forensics in the way we understand them today, that's going to be really and that's the late 90s, by the way. That's going to be where you start to pick up on, people just not getting away with things in the same way they used to. Think about it. Like, when did serial killers stop being in the news? You know? I think Dahmer was one of the last, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was he arrested? Yeah. So Dahmer was in the 90s. He's really the last big name serial killer I can think about. That golden era was the 60s through the 80s, where if you played your cards right, nobody was going to catch you. And I laugh about it now because I look at the Sebastian Rogers situation and Chris Proudfoot, and, if this were the 80s, he'd have gotten away. Well, I'm not going to, okay. If this were the 80s, he'd have gotten away with lying. We'll say it that way. Because you would have maybe seen one interview. You would have had to watch it on TV. If you wanted to rewatch it, you would have had to go in and record it, and then you would have had to transcribe it, and you would have had to read through everything. There was no... What I did, the stuff I did for our Sebastian Rogers series, those 3 videos, would have taken me 6 months 20 years ago. Not 20 years ago. 30 years ago. It just would not have been possible to do what I did in the time that I did it. So that's why I find the whole Chris Laundrie thing a little fun, or not Chris Laundrie, Chris Proudfoot thing a little funny. Is had he just kept his mouth shut, I would have had no idea. I would have been like, his body language is a little weird, but what can I really do about that, man? It's funny. I hope he gets pinched. Tomorrow's video is going to make, tomorrow's video has the hypothesis in it. I did want to really quickly go through some super chats here. What do we have? Not doing Elders of Zion. Wait, first question, Elders of the Zions of Love. Oh, that's a different thing. I don't know what that is, but if it's a song, I will get copyright struck. Or copyright claimed, I should say. Pumpkin Bear suggested Lazy, and then said also they're apparently making a Bigfoot festival because of the sighting. Oh my god. This is why I think that when Bigfoot is, like, randomly sighted somewhere that he's not supposed to be, and it's massively televised, it's a publicity stunt. That's where I'm at. Yes, the Olympics are happening. I have not watched them because they're in France, and I refuse to support France. Explain why Heaven's Light / Hell... I don't know that one, JMO. Am I too old? Video's quiet compared to me. I can turn it up a bit. Pit reveal and tour when? What do you mean pit reveal? I don't have a pit. Do I have a pit somewhere? Is this a joke that I'm forgetting about?
Over the phone, Mr. Johnson claimed
I can
he was
boost the
a
video.
Computer programmer and database consultant, and that he was very interested in purchasing the Quadra 950 and its monitor. The 2 men met at Jeremy's office to discuss things further. Jeremy would later describe Tom Johnson as being in his late 20s or early 30s. He stood around 5'10" and weighed about 165 pounds. After Johnson had inspected the machine and was given a demonstration, he agreed to pay $31,000 for it. However, he stipulated that he'd need it delivered to his office in Marietta, Georgia, about 230 miles from Nashville. Jeremy agreed to deliver the computer system himself. The 2 men shook hands and parted ways. On October 24th, at 1:30 a.m., Jeremy got in his car, ready to set off on his long journey to Marietta.
Better?
He had just spent the last 30 hours working on a different project, so as you can imagine, he was completely exhausted. Worried that he may fall asleep behind the wheel and crash, his fiancée, Heather,
it's going at 1.5. They tend to drag on if you play it slower. I can do it down to 1.25 though.
That way, she'd be able to chat with him and make
this is the pace I talk at is 1.25. So
that he made it to Georgia in one piece. The couple drove through the night and made it to Marietta at approximately 7:30.
I'm not giving you an armpit tour. That's gross.
Originally, they had planned to drop the system off directly at Tom Johnson's office, but things had changed. Mr. Johnson had called Jeremy and told him that his office was quite hard to find. It'd be easier, he said, if they just met at a motel instead.
All right.
After arriving in Marietta, Jeremy and Heather pulled into the Knights Inn motel just off I-75. There, they met Tom Johnson.
I think it's very funny that he said the Knights Inn. Like, yeah, it's the Knights Inn motel off of 75, but I get it. He's British, he doesn't know. But Knights Inn is a chain. It's a Knights Inn. It's just, I love when that happens. Y'all make fun of me whenever I pronounce something wrong.
Who told them that his business partner was on the way with a check for $31,000, as agreed. Since this partner wasn't going to arrive with a check for $31,000, they met Tom Johnson, who told them that his business partner was on the way with a check for $31,000, as agreed. Since this partner wasn't going to arrive for another 30 minutes or so, he suggested that Jeremy and Heather get some breakfast across the road. At about 8 AM, the couple returned to the motel, and Johnson again told them that his associate was still en route and would arrive very shortly. But in the meantime, he said that they should just load the equipment into the back of his Dodge Dynasty.
This is all very creepy.
Jeremy and Heather agreed, believing Johnson to be an honest and...
Also, did he say $31,000? Mac Quadra 950. Retail price when released. He must have meant 30.
Mr. Johnson had just met Knights Inn motel. Business partner was on the way with a check for $31,000, as agreed.
It must have been 3,100 because that computer was only selling for 7,200 when it came out. That did not sound right. Also funny, it was also known as Amazon. Interesting. All right, there we go.
Since this partner wasn't going to arrive for another 30 minutes or so, he suggested that Jeremy...
You listened to me at 1.25 times? I feel like I talk fast.
But in the meantime, he said that they should just load the equipment into the back of his Dodge Dynasty. Jeremy and Heather agreed, believing Johnson to be an honest and trustworthy man.
Give me a second, JMO.
He had immediately made them feel at ease, and came off as a friendly and thoughtful guy. However, Jeremy did think it was odd that Johnson's car had Tennessee license plates. Still, he brushed that off as a coincidence. Once the system had been loaded into the car, Jeremy and Heather went to wait for the check in Johnson's motel room. There, the three of them chatted in private about computers and technology. Another 20 minutes came and went, and, tired from the small talk and the long journey, Jeremy started to become frustrated. He told Mr. Johnson that he should just call his business partner so that they could close the deal. With that remark, the affable smile disappeared from Tom Johnson's face.
Okay, creepy.
He casually withdrew a pistol from his jacket pocket, aimed it at Jeremy and Heather, and calmly said, "I think we can close this deal right now." Jeremy and Heather were caught completely off guard by Johnson's sudden change in personality. His warm and friendly demeanor had, in an instant, given way to his true nature. That of a cold and calculating psychopath.
Dude, sociopaths are terrifying. Like, not all of them. Some of them have it under control and know how to, like, vibe with society, but people who can just switch on a dime like that terrify me.
Johnson made Jeremy hand over his money belt, then had Heather lay two...
If we have watched it before, I do not remember it.
...bedsheets flat on the floor.
We have not watched this video on this channel before, that's for sure.
Jeremy to wrap himself up tightly in one of those sheets, and Heather to do the same in the other. "I'm gonna take the computer now," he told them in a relaxed and confident tone. "Your company will get an insurance check. Don't worry, everything's going to be fine." Mere seconds later, a loud ringing filled Jeremy's ears, and he noticed the room begin to spin. Everything wasn't going to be fine after all. Tom Johnson had just hit Jeremy in the head with a hammer. He remained conscious, however, and watched as Johnson walked over to Heather and struck her in the head with the blunt tool as well. Heather let out an agonizing wail, prompting Jeremy to call out to her, "Stop screaming, and he'll leave." In response...
Although, you know what, Kellen, now that you say it, this part feels familiar. The rest of the video did not.
Tom Johnson walked back over to Jeremy and hammered him in the head once again, before bludgeoning Heather several more times. Despite suffering severe head injuries, Jeremy was still alive and conscious. He watched as Tom Johnson methodically cleaned the countertops to remove any fingerprints before casually exiting the room.
And as soon as he left, I crawled over to Heather and I told her that I was going to get help and we were going to be okay. And what I saw haunts me. You know, I can't get the picture out of my head. I mean, that someone could so hurt such a gentle person.
A motel employee would find him wandering the property at 9:30 AM, clearly disoriented and confused. seeing that his hair was stained red.
It
This
may have been
employee
on Twitch,
quickly
yeah.
called for an ambulance. Sadly, Heather wouldn't survive the ordeal. Jeremy, on the other hand, made a full recovery, though he would suffer from vertigo and hearing loss for the rest of his life. Luckily, he remembered everything about that terrible morning and was able to give the authorities a full description of Tom Johnson, which they used to create these sketches of the killer. After searching Johnson's motel room, investigators were surprised to find that he had left the hammer at the scene. The red-splattered tool.
Remember what I just said about how up until the late 90s?
Was found wrapped in plastic and still had its SKU number attached to it. Detectives were never able to track where it had been purchased. While questioning
That's
the
weird
motel
to
staff,
me.
however, they did learn something interesting. At some point between 7:30 and 8 AM, around the time that Jeremy and Heather went to get breakfast, one of the clerks had been approached by a woman who complained that she had heard a lot of noise coming from Tom Johnson's room. Detectives have theorized that that woman was actually Johnson's accomplice, and having learned that her partner in crime was actually planning to slay Jeremy and Heather, attempted to sabotage his scheme and save their lives. She then fled the scene.
Nah, I don't buy that. With how big this crime was, she would have come forward, gotten immunity.
For decades, the authorities held out hope that she would one day come forward with information. She never did. In 1994, there was a huge break in the case when a potential suspect came onto the police's radar. A 49-year-old man named Tom Steeples, a computer company owner from Nashville, Tennessee, the same city Jeremy and Heather lived in. Tom Steeples bore a strong resemblance to the sketch of Tom Johnson and had just been apprehended for a very similar incident. In April of '94, Steeples had lured a young couple, Rob and Kelly Phillips, into his motel room before bludgeoning them to death and taking $900 from them. In October of 1993, he had
That sure does sound similar.
also taken the life of his business partner, Ronald Bingham, likely to avoid having to repay a debt. The only thing that didn't line up was that Steeples was much older than Jeremy had estimated Tom Johnson to be. He believed Johnson to be somewhere between 27 and 34 years of age, and Steeples, 49, clearly looked much older. Steeples would pass away behind bars in July of 1994, without ever being
That's such a weird reason to not think it's him. What? 49, it'd have been 10 years. People can age a lot in the years between being 39 and 49. Also, if he didn't have, I mean, in the sketch, here's the thing, though. Looking at this sketch and this person, I don't see a huge age difference, This could very easily be this guy 10 years younger.
a young couple, Rob and Kelly Phillips, into his motel room before bludgeoning them to death and taking $900.
I mean, between the fact that he looks extremely similar, the fact that it was a very similar MO, and that the cities line up, it kind of sounds to me like the guy was responsible for both. I don't know, man.
From them. In October of 1990, and Steeples, 49, clearly looked much older. Steeples would pass away behind bars in July of 1994, without ever being officially linked to Jeremy and Heather's case. He intentionally OD'd on a large dose of cocaine, which had been secretly snuck into
I saw that there was a newer one. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be, like, a good one to look at. Here, let me, what was it? That was Darkest Unidentified Wiki, because we've definitely seen part of that before at the very least. Wait.
between 27 and 34 years of age.
Yeah, what was
and
the newest
Steeples,
one?
49, clearly looked much
Oh
older.
my god.
Steeples would pass away
Oh my
behind
god, dude. YouTube is a mess today, man. Yeah, right now, this one right here, the mysterious videos and disturbing backstories, like, we could see. I'll take a look at it.
In today's episode, we'll be exploring three
ow.
videos with chilling backstories. And though the mysteries surrounding the latter two have been resolved, I particularly want to highlight the first case, which remains unsolved. Not just because it's
Hey, well,
received
at least
so
we
little
got
media
that.
attention, but because I'm sure that someone out there must know who the person of interest in the footage is. Hopefully, that's one of you.
Hop Van Nguyen.
Maintaining a good work-life balance can be
Hop Van Nguyen is one hell of a name. It sounds like you're a Dutch Korean or Dutch Vietnamese. Yeah, Dutch Vietnamese.
challenging, especially when you're swamped with multiple projects. When I first started this channel, for instance, there never seemed to be enough hours in the day. But today's sponsor, Stamps.com, helped me to review your posted even on the go package bits. This is use organization, lazy math. Grand Prairie, Texas, a densely suburban and diverse city of about 200,000 people, nestled evenly between Fort Worth and Dallas. With a violent crime rate 45% lower than the national average, when it comes to settling down, it's considered one of the safer built-up areas in the Lone Star State. One man who fell on the wrong side of that statistic was Hop Van Nguyen, a single, 32-year-old Vietnamese American who lived alone on the 2400 block of Lancaster Drive. Described by those who knew him as a guy
JMO, I saw the messages about the book. The book is right over there. I will get to it.
who lived in the moment, Hop was a fan of travel, fishing, fitness, and winter sports. Little else about his personal life has been revealed to the public. In the summer of 2017, Hop suddenly stopped.
That's the other thing that bothers me, is a lot of the time you'll have somebody where something bad happens, and while I understand that the family wants privacy, if it's gone unsolved long enough, you got to get over the privacy issue. Okay? The cops can't do it. If it's been years, the cops can't do it. Even if you gave them all the information. They don't have the time, they don't have the bandwidth, they do not have the attention span. This frustrates me so much when I look at cold cases, because it'll be like, I'm trying to figure out, oh, well, was there anything in this person's history and their personality that might lead to understand? Nope, they just never talk. When it's somebody who there's a lot of information about, you can kind of come up with a theory. You can maybe trace it somewhere, but when the family just refuses to tell you anything about the person, it's really hard to get to the bottom of it. I will say this plays into the Sebastian Rogers case too, because Chris and Katie, when you listen to them, everything they say about Sebastian is like super basic stuff, Like, oh, he liked swimming. Okay, cool. Well, what was he like at school? What were his friends like? He didn't really have friends. What about, who did he have no social life at all at school? Like, Katie said, he was bragging about something. What was he bragging about? I would think that if my child was very excited about something the day before he went missing, there might be a connection there. So it bugs me.
Stopped responding to calls and messages from family and friends. Unable to reach him, his concerned loved ones contacted Grand Prairie PD and reported him missing. An investigation was quickly launched. Law enforcement asked local residents to be on the lookout for a 5'7" Asian male with short black hair, brown eyes, a scar behind his right ear, a half-sleeve dragon tattoo on his right arm, and a tattoo on his right inner arm with the letters TFT.
I was going to say, up until that TFT one, that was not narrowing it down. Yeah, we're looking for a 5'7" Asian male with a dragon tattoo on his arm, brown eyes, and black hair. It's like saying I'm looking for a white guy. He's around 5'9". He has brown hair and blue eyes. Like, and a cross tattoo. It's so vague.
They also noted that he was missing the tip of his right index finger.
There we go.
According to Namus, Hop was last seen at about 10:30 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th, driving his white Nissan 350Z convertible on State Highway 161, just as he exited Lower Tarrant Road. His car was found abandoned and empty thereafter. Grand Prairie PD haven't shared exactly when or where it was discovered.
I just saw what Jasko said. Some shekels from the Ukrainian-American lurker. What a way to spend. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, Ryan.
They have released is a short video clip, one recorded by Hop's very own Ring doorbell camera.
Weird.
It was captured the same night he was last seen, and features a person of interest, or POI, whom law enforcement believe played a role in Hop's disappearance.
Alright, so this... Yo, alright, wait, hang on. We're gonna go back through Hop Nguyen really quick. Cause what?
Was Hop Van Nguyen.
That guy looked way too... That was planned, that was premeditated. That's... whoever did that is responsible for his disappearance without question. It's just like, why?
32-year-old Vietnamese American who lived alone on the 2400 block of Lancaster Drive.
That's the other thing that's so weird about that too, is that's just a residential neighborhood. Like, that looks like a safe area.
Who knew him as a guy who lived in the moment. Hop was a fan of travel, fishing, fitness, and winter sports. Little else about his personal life has been revealed to the public. Fitness and winter sport knew him as a guy who lived in the moment. Hop was a fan of travel, fishing, fitness, and winter sports. Little else about...
All right. I mean, loan shark, cartel. That's all I can think right now is money and drugs, based on what they've said.
How his personal life has been revealed to the public. In the summer of 2017, Hop suddenly stopped responding to calls and messages from family and
I'm guessing he probably didn't hook up with someone's wife.
friends. Unable to reach him, his concerned loved ones contacted Grand Prairie PD and reported him missing.
Ooh, my neck.
An investigation was quickly launched. Law enforcement asked local residents to be on the lookout for a 5'7" Asian male with short black hair, brown eyes, a scar behind his right ear, a half-sleeve dragon tattoo on his right arm, and a tattoo on his right inner arm with the letters TFT. They also noted that he was missing the tip of his right index finger. According to Namus, Hop was last seen at about 10:30 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th, driving his white Nissan 350Z convertible on State Highway 161, just as he exited a lower driving. According to Namus, they also noted that he was missing the tip of his right index finger. According to Namus, Hop was last seen at about 10:30 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th, driving his white Nissan 350Z convertible on State Highway 161, just as he exited a Lower Tarrant Road. His car was found abandoned and empty thereafter. Grand Prairie PD haven't shared exactly when or where it was discovered. In fact,
That's super helpful, Grand Prairie. Good job, guys. Don't give anybody any relevant information. You know, I used to have faith in the police, but after seeing how many murders and kidnappings and all that go unsolved, it's just really hard to respect it, you know? I really wanted to, like with Sebastian Rogers, I really wanted to be able to compliment the police work and say, hey, yeah, good job, guys. You nailed it. I mean, early on, I was like, hey, at least it looks like they really did put, effort into the initial search. But I don't understand, given what they've released and what they have not released, what they've said and not said, I should say. I don't understand why Chris Proudfoot was even allowed to leave the county. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if nobody's been cleared and the parents were the only people in the house when he disappeared, those parents should not be allowed to leave, you know?
the only clue they have released is a short video clip, one recorded by Hop's very own Ring doorbell camera. It was captured the same night he was last seen, and features a person of interest, or POI, whom law enforcement believe played a role in Hop's disappearance.
To be honest, it broke for me for good with Tommy Booth. I mean, sitting there looking at all of the evidence, not from the Smiley Face Killers guys, looking at all the evidence we compiled, and knowing that all of that evidence is stuff the police had, and they determined that this was an accidental drowning, that was the moment it broke for me. That I was like, all right, I'm sure there's a couple of good cops and a couple of good detectives out there, but damn, if I go missing, I hope that, Missing Enigma is on it, not the cops. I think everyone born before the ban got brain damage from leaded gas, which would explain a lot about the modern world. Yeah. All right. Let's go through that again. Okay. I mean, it is blurry as all hell, but based on height and skin tone, I'd say, if I were to wager a guess, I'd say that's either a Latino or an Asian suspect. Which, Latino would make sense in this area, in Texas. You have a high Latino population. You don't have a very high Asian population. Although it was what? Austin? No, Grand Prairie. Yeah, I can't imagine Grand Prairie's crawling with Vietnamese Americans, you know? Sounds like he's trying to pick or break the lock. What did the thing he put on the window look like? looks like it's just a post-it, like a long post-it note. Oh, no, yeah, Zay, they went from northeast of Nashville to Memphis within a month after he disappeared. He had not been gone a month, and they skipped town. I also, I forgot to mention it in the video. Damn it. Yeah. What was the thing? What did they say? It just popped into my head again. Oh yeah, the reason they left town changed between a couple of interviews. In one interview, I think it was the Nancy Grace one, they said they left town because Chris had to go back to work. And then in another interview, I think it was a couple of days later, they said that they left town because they were getting threats and they were being mistreated and blah 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 blah. But no, on Nancy Grace, and this is why I said in I think the second part of the series that their answers change with public opinion. I think they left town. They said it's because Chris has to go back to work, and they got a whole bunch of feedback and flack, and people were like, why does Chris's job matter more than finding your son right now? So they were like, oh no, we were being threatened. So you went to Memphis? You went all the way to... Why did Katie go? Why didn't Katie go stay with relatives? Why not stay with one of the Proudfoot families in the area? Why not stay with the Bowersocks? You know, why not go get a motel room and at least stay in the area? It's because you're leaving town because you know something. It's disgusting. I just got 100 from the VA, nothing but free time, so if you and Thornbury go missing to help... Okay, yeah. Thank you. Good to know. Kellen, I'll have Aiden call you if I go missing. I think you'd probably be able to help. You know the right people. Alex, again, it's just police force. Is your police force big enough? Does your police force have the resources required? If not, you're shit out of luck. That's interesting. Now, what would beep before the door opens if he was just finagling with the lock? Maybe it's a dual manual and pad? Looks like a new build, so it could be something like that. Relatively new build. What's that sound? You guys are catching it too, right? That one. I've heard that before. I've heard that sound before. What is that? I have heard that exact chime. The chime at the end. No, not that. Here, listen. Right there. Catch it? Just a little... Did it? Find it again. Right there. Yeah, it sounds like a walkie-talkie. Here, I'll show you. Drop the playback speed. It does sound like a walkie-talkie. Apparently nothing happens if I press shift too many times. I know what you're talking about, sticky keys and all that. Hang on. That's not what I wanted. Walkie-talkie chime sound. Yeah, it's precisely what it is. Yeah. It's the exact pattern. That's a walkie-talkie chime.
As you can see, the ring camera detects movement and activates. An unidentified subject is seen backing up towards Hop's door.
It sounds like, I think what it is, it sounds like a police walkie-talkie.
And covers the camera with a sheet of paper or a post-it note.
I mean, any walkie-talkie, really, but that's when I think I hear that the most, is police. Police and fire.
The figure then sets about gaining access to the residence.
I sent you text.
We can hear the sound of wrestling as he fusses with the door.
It's here.
Though some people believe this noise is the POI inserting a key into the lock, others have pointed out that it could be the sound of a lock-picking rake.
It sounds like a lock-picking rig to me.
Which sounded like a key being inserted. You don't hear the cylinder turn, or the lock click. You just hear more pins being manipulated. Then, after 5 seconds or so, he gets the locks, and the door opens. After finishing with the lock,
yeah, I'm agreeing with that one.
The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone.
See, that sounds like the security system, that boop boop. That's a different sound. Here. Home, security, entrance, sound. All right. So this is all actual ring.
Beep can be heard.
Okay, so that's a boop boop.
The door opens with... After finishing with the lock, a faint beep can be heard. The doors. After finishing with the lock, a faint beep can be heard.
That's close.
And the door opens. After finishing with... After 5 seconds or so, he gets the locks, and the door opens. After finishing with the lock, a faint beep can be heard. The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone.
Yeah, those sound pretty similar to me. This one's harp. Absolutely not. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was that Navi one.
The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone. Locks, and the door opens. After finishing with the lock, a faint beep can be heard.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty similar. Yes, I heard you call my name. If you wouldn't mind just bringing me my dumplings. Yeah, I think I'll have the rest of it later. Okay, sounds good.
The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone.
You could make a much longer than 10-minute compilation of me making weird noises, to be fair. There's over 150 videos from us. Actually, I think we might be... Yeah, that should be about 150 now. That's just the main ones. Yes? Thank you. I love you. Mm-hmm. Come here so I can give you a kiss, please. Thank you.
It's not clear whether Hop was home at the time, or who the POI was addressing.
Well...
The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone. It's not clear whether Hop was home at the time, or who the POI was addressing. Following this exchange, someone steps outside and fiddles with the camera. Can be heard. The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone.
Weird.
It's not clear whether Hop was home at the time, or who the POI was addressing. Following this exchange, someone steps outside and...
Ozzy Walker said, sorry I'm late, just got done with another Wendigooner vid. Oh, good God. Fun facts, moose comes from an Algonquin word for twig eater, and there's a word for Wendigo that translates as owl. Yes, I have heard that one. The second one. I did not know moose came from twig eater. What does goose come from? Ah, so goose comes from Germanic. It is part of the Germanic family, and it was Goss. In Dutch, it's Gans. It's apparently also Gans in German. Yeah, so I guess that's why we have goose and geese, is because it's Germanic, and not moose and meese, is because that's Algonquin. That would make sense.
And fiddles with the camera. Just before the video cuts to black, a digital...
You know what? Who said that? Patty Dunn did it. I think you're probably... I would wager that you are probably right about that. That sounds like it's probably what happened. You know, them getting in, being like, you know, like, it clear or something like that.
Chime or screech can be heard. Did you catch that? There.
That's another walkie-talkie.
Right at the very end, another separate sound can just about be made out. Focus on that very last sound. This is the Roger beep. A tone often added automatically to the end of radio transmissions to indicate that the operator has finished speaking.
I had no idea that sound had a name.
Chillingly, it's identical to the sound heard in the Ring footage. That strongly suggests that the POI was communicating with an accomplice over a two-way radio, and not calmly chatting with Hop inside. Rewinding a bit, another...
There's something very funny to me about the fact that British people have a tendency to just have kind of funny words for things. And then the one time he could say a phrase that would sound completely British, which would be walkie-talkie, he doesn't. He says two-way radio. Like, just come on, guys. Be consistent.
Beep or screech can be heard just before the POI opens Hop's front door. Some believe this to be the sound of a keypad, but...
I do wonder if Lazy does this himself. Or if he's more of a Mr. Ballin type storyteller.
Going through Lancaster Drive on Google Street View, all of the homes appear to be modest, single-story...
Based on this, I get the sense he does at least do a little bit of his own research, like fact-checking.
...buildings with conventional doors.
But I also have found videos of his that were very similar to Reddit posts. Not to the point that I'd say it's plagiarism, but like...
As such, I believe...
Very similar.
That sound was more likely from a communication device brought by the intruder. In my opinion, this was a well-planned, well-orchestrated invasion of Hop's home. The POI knew about his Ring doorbell camera and came prepared with a paper covering. He approached the door with the confidence of a professional. He knew
Yeah, this is somebody who knows what they're doing.
to use a radio device, so he couldn't be GPS tracked, and he almost certainly wasn't working alone. As you can see, this video lacks a timestamp, and the authorities haven't confirmed whether it was captured before or after Hop was last seen. It's worth reminding everyone that Ring doorbell cameras are motion activated, and no footage of Hop returning home has been mentioned in any press releases. Based on that,
I mean, wouldn't really be relevant if it happened after he disappeared.
and how confidently the POI acts, as if he wasn't expecting any resistance. If I had to make a judgment call, I'd say that the clip was filmed at some point after 10:30 PM, and that Hop didn't make it home on August 17th. With that said, it's best to keep an open mind as we explore this case in more detail. As mentioned, Hop was last seen at 10:30 PM, exiting Lower Tarrant, a thin stretch of road, approximately a 10-minute drive from his home. Again, the authorities haven't told us why he was there in the first place, whether he
That doesn't really look like the kind of place you would be just to be. Hang on. It was what? Lower Tarrant? Grand Prairie? Well, I don't know. Maybe he's about to mention it, but that's a gun club. That is, in fact, a gun club. But it's not far from where he lived. I mean, where was Lancaster? It looks like it was down here, maybe? Maybe a little further down. Maybe am I going insane? I could swear it was closer. I mean, either way, like, weird. Now I've completely lost track of it. Where'd it go? And now I have lost the... That's not what I wanted. Damn it. All right, whatever. I'll find it again. That's not what I wanted to do. That is.
He was meeting a friend there, or attending an event, for example. So, let's get on Google Street View and take a look around.
Oh, yep, here he goes.
So near the entrance, we have some greenery, lots of trees, and a small field.
Lazy, it's a gun club. I understand for storytelling purposes, but it's a gun club. I know this is weird for British people, but it's very normal for us.
A little further, we have an unusual house, with statues of zoo animals in the yard.
This is Texas, that's not unusual. Well, hang on. That's a weird property. The animals are not what's weird about this property. Hang on. Hang on a minute. All right. I'm intrigued. All right, Lazy, you got me. You got me intrigued now. Lower Tarrant Road, Grand Prairie, Texas. All right. Where was it? So this is interesting. All right. What's that? What's this house? Now that is weird. That building does not have... That building doesn't have an address. What are these? What? All right. Well, okay. What is this? This is definitely some sort of industrial. 2200 Lower Tarrant. What about 2029 Lower Tarrant? No information about it online. That's weird. But this is definitely... Yeah, this is some kind of industrial area. I mean, that looks like... It kind of looks like natural gas. Oh, wait, what do we got here? Racing Partners Valve Yard. Racing Partners Valve Yard. Racing Partners, let's say Grand Prairie, Texas. I mean, maybe it has to do with the nearby racetrack. That would be my only guess, but what would that have to do with anything else? Can't get much. I can't get any closer to it. Racing Partners Valve Yard. Yeah, I can't make out anything else that it says though. 2200 Lower Tarrant. Yeah. All right, that is garage of some kind, storage warehouse, which is fenced in, even though that's not. That's fenced in down there. Maybe that's why. Now, that right there, this is interesting. This is very interesting. These are livestock fences. This is not a keep people out fence. This is a keep livestock in fence. That is a livestock gate, which would imply that you have livestock. Because a dog, this is not going to keep a dog in. This is going to keep sheep and cows in, and horses. But I don't see sheep, cows, and horses. You know? There's also what's that? Maybe a Mercedes or a Lincoln, based on the grill. Going around here. Okay, this is more grassland, private property. Here's their driveway. Okay, yeah, so it is natural gas. It's a natural gas pipeline. Where is this house's mailbox? Like, that's the driveway of the home. It almost looks like this house is a duplex. It's fenced in inside of a fence. Like, this is a property fence. That's a don't climb over me fence. That's as tall as the truck. And that might be the mailbox, but, I mean, does the mailman have to go all the way through here to get to it? And where does this go? There's a playground, so I would, or not a playground, a play set, so I would assume that there are kids here, at least somewhat often. But, and here's the other thing, like, yeah, this is... The hell? Why would you have a livestock fence on the one side and then have just a gap right here? I mean, the fence kind of continues along this way, but a person or an animal could very easily get in and out right here. Oh, wait, you guys can't see this. It's just occurring to me that you guys can't see this. I don't have... I was on the second monitor, so... That is my bad, but here, let me take you through what I'm seeing here. Because I just realized that the monitor was not properly set up. Down here, we have a natural gas yard. That is what this is. Now, I don't know what Racing Partners is, what that would have to do with gas. We then have all of this appears to be on the same property, right? That is some kind of warehouse. There's a car parked over here. But yeah, we have this, over here it looks like a livestock fence. Over here it's chain link. I mean, it must have been added in piecemeal or replaced at one point in sections, because that's the only thing that makes sense. But if you look over here, I mean, that's what I was saying when I said this is a keep out fence. Like, that's a tall fence. Why only have it surround that part of the property? If you're going to have fences, why not have a big fence all the way around, Well, like, that's strange. That's not normal. Over here, we see a playground. That tells us kids are here every now and then. Over here, we have a walkway going all the way back out to that driveway, but then we have a second driveway right here. I mean, maybe there's, like I said, it could be a duplex, but then over here, this is what I was talking about when I said it's really easy to just climb over, whatever's there. That doesn't make sense. Keep going along. All right. Weird. Just weird. Straight up weird. Okay. Power meter. That goes to the, what is this connected to? What is this a power meter for? All right, let's keep going. That house does not appear to be occupied. What's this? Lost my dog. Somebody's phone number is just out and about. That's what we'll do too, is we'll go back and look at dates. All right, so here's the Grand Prairie Gun Club, right? This looks like this is a obstacle course of some kind for, probably, I assume the gun club. What's down here? Where does this take us? All right. Another house that doesn't exactly look lived in. What's this look like years ago? All right, 2013. All right. 2013, this house is occupied. 2020, this house doesn't look occupied. I mean, what is that wagon wheel out by the front door? Was that there in the 2013 image? Nope. I mean, what happened to this? Like, the road is in much better condition. And then a few years later, it's like that. Yeah, and I don't see the wheel over there in 2013. Okay, that's a dead end. This is Grand Prairie, who knows what. Let me pull up Lower Tarrant. All right, so this is natural gas. That's the Grand Prairie Gun Club. What the hell is this? There's no address listed. It looks like some kind of utility thing. Can't really tell. Yeah, all these obstacle course things. But here's the thing, is it looks like all this obstacle course stuff is part of this property. So what is this? Grand Prairie... I think it says police. It looks like this is a police training ground. Police, maybe police gun range? I'm thinking. JMO, it's probably not going to be time for book this stream. I will get to the book. I just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I've been swamped. All right, let's go back up. Let's see more dates. Let's take a look at April 2013. What's here? All right, April 2013. That obstacle course is not there. What is this in April 2013? Still a police gun range, though. Interesting. All right, let's head back up. Okay, everything looks a lot more alive. Whoa, hang on. Got a June one, June 2015. All right, so why is it that in June, what about 2013? Is this, interesting. What do we got here? All right. 2015. 2015, it's a lot more overgrown. I'm thinking this was either recently abandoned or was being lived in 2015. So if we go 2015, go down, Grand Prairie Gun Club. Okay, looks mostly the same. Interesting that in 2015, the Google car just stopped there. 2015, there is no obstacle course still. That fence is there. That fence is still there. Okay. Go way down the road. By the way, this is getting you a good glimpse into like how I do my job. All right, 2013, what do we got here? We have a Texan flag. 2020, we don't have a Texan flag. 2015, we do have a Texan flag. We also have all of that. We still have the statues. Still have the statues. They painted. No, they didn't paint. What happened here? All right. Beware of dog. Beware of dog. That's the... Okay, that's blurred out now. So I'm not seeing a ton of changes for this property. Still the animals out front. All right, so yeah, they did replace that fence. Because in 2020, that's barbed wire. 2015, it's barbed wire. Interesting. 2013, do we still have these guys out front? 2013, no animals. This all might be totally irrelevant. But, all right, some junked cars. Junked cars are missing. Also, why is the 2015 one like so low resolution compared to everything else? Junked car is still gone. Okay. All right, so unless he was going to the gun club that night, I'm guessing he was here. Because I can't really think of where else the guy would have been that night. JMO, I know you paid. I will read it, just not this stream. I'll get to it next week. I am at the point where I am constantly on edge from my job right now. Like, we filmed Monday. I was not really able to work Tuesday. I got some of what I needed to get done for this week done yesterday, and I still have to work after this stream. Like, I have more research to do after this. I shouldn't have even done the stream, but I figured, you know, I promised, so.
This small house here seems to be abandoned. As we go a little further, we reach the Grand Prairie Gun Club, a gated shooting range. The road continues a little further and leads to a third house. In all, it's about a half-mile of fields, woodland, and shooting lawns. Seems like an odd place for Hop to have found himself late on a weeknight. So, why was he last seen exiting Lower Tarrant that night? Was he there visiting
I don't think he was at the gun club.
one of the frankly odd houses? Had he gone to the shooting range, which is closed on Thursdays and never open after 6 PM? Was he doing a spot of late-night fishing in the creek or nearby river? Had he taken a wrong turn so close to home? Or was he meeting someone in a secluded area for some unknown reason? The next question I have is, where did Hop go missing? For reasons already covered, I think on the balance of probability, Hop didn't make it home that night. We know his vehicle left Lower Tarrant Road, but did he head straight in the direction of his home, or did he drive elsewhere to meet someone? Moreover, how confident are the police that Hop was the person behind the wheel of his vehicle as it left?
That's the one I'm thinking about. I don't think Hop left that property.
left Lower Tarrant Road. Is it possible that he went missing in this confined area somewhere, and then someone else drove his car out onto State Highway 161? Just food for thought. Naturally, we also need to ask why. Why target Hop Van Nguyen of all people? Well, looking through Hop's now inactive Facebook page, it's clear he appreciated the finer things in life, particularly expensive cars and watches.
While living in a house that did not look particularly expensive.
Such, I've seen a few people suggest that he may have been targeted for his wealth, or at least for his perceived wealth. But
I think it's the other way around. I think he was either doing something illegal or borrowed money from the wrong person.
I have to stress that Hop lived in a modest house on Lancaster Drive, whose residents are predominantly low income. In fact, the neighborhood is one of the most poverty-stricken in the entire US, with an income lower than 94.8% of the country. But the police haven't confirmed what Hop did for.
Bro, what? These are nice houses.
Work,
I mean,
or
they're
how
not
much he
like,
earned. I think
these aren't like, you know, beautiful mansions, but they're decent homes. In what world is this a poor neighborhood? That can't be right. Like, that cannot be right. I refuse to believe that. Okay, I'm not even seeing his road here. What? Lancaster, was it Lancaster Road? Woodside Drive. Gonna be right next to Woodside. Woodside Drive, Grand Prairie, Texas. Yeah. Lancaster Drive. I'm stupid. It's right on screen. I mean, this... Gonna be honest, like, Tire Street doesn't look any worse, but
I think it's 8% of the country.
Tire Park Grand Prairie has an income lower than 94.8% of U.S. neighborhoods. I just want to find the neighborhood. Archie, stop it. Income. All right, so I mean, looking at it, it looks like he's only vaguely in what is considered that neighborhood. He's on the very south side of it. He's down here. Rents here are currently lower in price than 53.6% of Texas neighborhoods, so that means it's actually mid-range. Yeah, median real estate price is way lower. That's weird. Real estate price is 80% lower than U.S. neighborhoods. Or 72% lower than Texas neighborhoods, but rents are lower than 53%. Like, suburban neighborhood. Current vacancy rate is 2.7. Which is actually a very low vacancy rate. Manufacturing and labor is the primary career. More people of Arab ancestry living in it than nearly any neighborhood in America. Interesting. It's only 4.8. 3.5 of its residents 5 years old and above speak Arabic at home. All right. Neighbors. It does say it's low income. I'm just trying to figure out how low income families are driving 2 cars each that are within 5 model years. Like, something about this isn't right. Something about this doesn't fit.
Though the police haven't confirmed what Hop did for work or how much he earned, I think it's safe to say that although he fantasized about luxury purchases, he wasn't actually a rich guy himself.
I'm sure, Teal, that debt's a thing, but like...
As far as I can tell, no material items were reported stolen from the property either. That leaves us with 2 possibilities. That Hop was home when this footage was captured, and the POI...
That's all I mean, though, is like there's gotta be like a manufacturing plant next door.
Target him. Or the POI had already dispatched of Hop and went there to get something. Something specific. Something that even Hop's family, and maybe even the authorities, don't know about. What that item could be is the subject of much speculation. My final question, then, is who? It's clear that Hop wasn't randomly targeted, and that someone out there had a reason to make him disappear. This figure, to be precise. But who are they? Based on their physique and clothes, they appear to be a young male. You can make out the outline of his nose in this still frame, and from another angle, when he presses himself up into the corner of the entrance. Here, it looks like his dark jacket is zipped up over his mouth. The subject also wore dark trousers, a white and black baseball cap, and possibly white
This angle, he looks like he might actually be white.
gloves. Aside from that, it's hard to build much of a profile from this footage. The POI did a good job of concealing his face. With so little information to work with, some have questioned whether this could have been a gang hit. Proponents of that idea have latched onto Hop's TFT tattoo and his missing fingertip, questioning whether he was affiliated in some way with a Vietnamese syndicate, be that as a former member or someone who owed them a debt. Though I want to stress, that's all speculative. For all we know, the letters TFT were the initials of a loved one, and his fingertip could have easily been lost in an accident. All that's to say, this figure's motive remains shrouded in mystery. Despite releasing this video to the public, law enforcement received little in the way of new leads. They continue to seek information that could bring closure to the Nguyen family, who all believe that Hop was either abducted or otherwise met with foul play. Hop Van Nguyen hasn't been seen or heard from since August 17th, 2017. If still alive, he'd be 39 years old today. If you have any information pertaining to his whereabouts, or if you recognize the person of interest in this footage, please contact the GPPD immediately.
I mean, it's gotta be organized crime. That was a hitman. That was a hitman. Not a particularly, like, you know, professional one. But at the very least, he knew what he was doing. That really sounds to me like... That really sounds to me like this is a gang thing. And I mean, it would make sense. What did it say he did for work? Did it say what he did for work? I'm gonna look it up. Did Hop Van Nguyen do for work? Somehow he is not the only Hop Van Nguyen. Apparently that is a... Okay, this is a different Hop Van Nguyen entirely. In Arlington, Texas. Charlie Project page. I mean, what did he do for a living? That seems important. I mean, this is the kind of thing that doesn't happen to people who aren't involved in something. You know, this is the kind of thing that happens to, like, politicians, journalists, and criminals. And possibly me if the flat earthers get too angry, but you know, I keep that fang on me. And I'm looking through. Nobody seems to have an idea what this guy did for work. Here is the Dallas Morning News. Can I please scroll, dude? Really? We're really gonna do this? All right, I'm just gonna go Wayback Machine. I'm not paying you to read about a missing person, dude. Like, have just the slightest bit of foresight. Come on, guys. Like, if the story is about a missing person, maybe don't make me pay for it. Okay. Drove a Nissan 350Z convertible. The tip of his index finger. Let's see. Facebook.com. Hop Van Nguyen. Gonna go to people. City is Grand Prairie, Texas. And it didn't find any results. Hop Van Nguyen. Facebook page. This is not the same person. That's Van Hop Nguyen. I mean, where the hell did he get the guy's Facebook page? That's what I'm trying to figure out. According to his, now inactive Facebook page. Oh, that's why. It's because he had a different name for it. Oh, and it was on Charlie Project. I'm just dumb. I've gotten so used to not trusting other sources that I now just don't trust anyone. All right. What we got? What we got here? Got his Facebook pulled up. That is a car. About no workplaces to show. I'll look at this Paul Wen guy. I'm going to pull him over here because he's done nothing to deserve suspicion. Let's see. Who is Paul Wen then? Because here's the thing, you can't even assume that they're related because it's such a common name. Gross. I don't even know what I just saw. Alright, that's a baby. Check-ins. Alright, when was it that he went missing? Missing since 2017. So this is interesting. If this is his Facebook page, it says Hop V Wen. He appears to have stopped because he checked in everywhere. I mean, this dude was like posting his entire life where he was at all times. This is just dangerous. I mean, if I were somebody that wanted to hurt him, I would be able to guess when he was going to go to LA Fitness based on how many times he checked into LA Fitness. Okay, so a year and a half before he goes missing, he's spending a lot of time in Colorado at a resort. He switches resorts. He was definitely trying to give the impression that he was wealthier than he was. Very Tumblr of him. This type of person I am. I'm very aware of feeling as insignificant as a grain of sand in the universe, and I believe that materialism, prejudice, and lust don't matter in the long run. I have a charismatic and very open personality that attracts a lot of friends. I'm very social, sometimes at the expense of your other responsibilities. I might take too much time out during the day to smell the flowers, incur the resentment of those who are left to pick up the slack. It is common in people nature to take advantage of my compassion, empathy, and generosity. It may seem unfair to me that others do not appreciate the gifts I have to offer, especially when I demand so little materially from the world. I do feel quite clear about my divine purpose and goals in life. Others may perceive me as weird and spacey. This is for me to remind who I am. Well, that's weird. This is a weird comment. ExploreTalent.com. What's Explore Talent? Okay. So it looks like it is probably one of those things that Oh, okay. Well, actually these are reasonable. These are actually pretty reasonable. I would not be surprised if this is legit. Huh? Who's Roger? What? I can't even say this is particularly cringe because this is just kind of what 2013 was like. I mean, this is all just so weird. I feel weird, scrolling through a dead guy's life, but it's for a good cause. I mean, here's the thing, like, he looks like a pretty normal dude aside from a few strange Facebook posts. This looks like some kind of Vietnamese fashion show. But, like, no photos of nothing suggesting what he did for work. So this is that same thing. So I'm thinking he probably wrote it, but because that pops up here and here. This is weird. I have a very hard time believing that nobody could figure out why he went missing, though.
Of cars and watches. As such, I've seen a
The other ones are solved. That's not nearly as fun. I know, Jambo. I will read it. I fully plan to. It's just, I just haven't been able to get to anything like fun lately. Most of my recreation lately has been playing Red Dead Redemption for an hour or two at extraordinary late hours of the night because it's like the only time I get to relax. Or at least relax on my own. It's like my only alone time. Yeah, I just... Huh. Just so weird. Alright, since we don't have a ton of time to go back through anything else, let's go through some nukes. You know, the classic. Let's see, we've got about just under 20 minutes, so let's pop on... Let's do this one.
TikTok user Leo Lords 15 is excited about getting a fresh start.
He's just at the point where he doesn't need to do any intro.
She and her young daughter move into a new home. But soon after they move in, her daughter begins to behave very strangely. The young girl claims to have made a new friend.
For those who are unfamiliar with Nukes basically just gathers together ghost videos from around the internet and posts them. Nice kind of fun little channel.
A friend that lives inside their new house. Now the mom is pretty freaked out, so she prepares a security camera to keep an eye on her young daughter. And one day, it captures something absolutely terrifying.
I can see. I'll take a look at it.
It feels beautiful and funny. What are you doing?
I mean, so far this isn't particularly weird. Kids have imaginary friends. All right. So this can be faked. It would be extremely easy to fake this. Because all you'd need to do is cut off everything on this side. Now, maybe she moves in front of it, I don't know. Masking, if you got the right talents for it, you can do a lot, but let's see. I also don't think that those sounds would be picked up by what is basically a baby monitor security camera. And they're a little too easy to add in post.
The young girl can be seen having a conversation with someone that we can't see. Then, 2 footsteps can be heard before the closet door slowly opens on its own.
House isn't perfectly level. If it has a string attached to it.
As it opens, 3 more footsteps can be heard, almost as if something is walking out of the closet.
I also have a hard time believing a child would not run away.
The girl seems very freaked out as she slowly gets to her feet and sneaks toward the door to make her escape out of the room. So it seems that...
That's the other thing, is like, what camera are you buying in the year of our Lord 2024 that has a resolution of what appears to be 240p?
Whatever just came out of that closet, she doesn't want to be anywhere near it. Now what makes this footage even creepier is that this family completely disappeared off of TikTok in 2022. So whatever happened to TikTok user Leo Lords 15 and her daughter remains a mystery.
At Leo Lords 15. Leo Lords 15. All right, found it.
So I am unpacking. I know it's a little early for Christmas.
So first of all, to say that they disappeared in after 2017 is, every once in a while I just forget this is a thing. I just completely forget I have 1.2 million followers on TikTok. Like, I used to do a lot of this. Damn. All right. Anyway. So, first video is, who's she following? Cardi B, who's this? We know who Cardi B is. Do not need to check in on who Cardi B is. Curious what that is. Not seeing anything particularly interesting. All right.
So I am unpacking. I know it's a little early for Christmas, but is it ever really too early for Christmas? I'm such a geek, but I wanted to show you some of my Christmas decorations. I've got a little nutcracker. I have a big nutcracker.
It'd be nice if you could have the playback speed higher.
I like antique stuff, and so here he is. Just for a light moment, I wanted to show you my I don't know what.
Oh, weird. Whoa, that's funky.
What? My fat Santa. He's not even a Santa. He's a snowman. He's my shelf snowman.
All right, so off the bat, I'll say this much. Hang on.
Teen is excited about getting a fresh start as she and her young daughter move into a new home. But soon after they move in, her daughter begins to behave very strangely. The young girl claims to have made a new friend, a friend that lives inside their new house. Now the mom is pretty freaked out. It captures something absolutely terrifying.
Based on the appearance of her hands, and that girl's skin tone.
Okay, I'll shut up now. There's more Christmas to be had.
She doesn't sound like a young mother or look like she's a young mother.
Hey, just a little behind the scenes. Can you believe that I actually packed the powdered sugar?
Behind the scenes of what? Like, why is she posting all of this? There's no intro to the channel. There's no here's who I am. There's no prior videos. Maybe it's possible that she had other videos on here, I guess. All right, the other people she's following are... Yeah, that's a decent-sized following, but I don't know what she does. Cats. I don't know who this person is. Or okay, weight loss. And then a marketing person? Like, these are the people she follows? Like, okay, this person is not very good at marketing.
I don't know. I brought these slats, but I don't have the. I didn't bring the.
Yeah, I mean, that. Look at that hand, man. That girl, the girl in the video looks like she's maybe 5 or 6, 7 at the most. Unless this woman's just been taking horrible care of her skin, she's in her 50s. It's not impossible, don't get me wrong. It's not impossible to have a kid that late. It's rare, it happens.
Bring the right bed frame. Anyone else? Unpacking totally miserable? I think so. Hey, just a little. Hello. The move-in.
Also, like, all these videos, she's talking, there's a child in the home, and we don't hear them.
Feels it's never ending. Look, I don't know what to do with my lamps. Anyway, the dragging in of things and the unpacking of things is happening. Hello. Hey, so we are just moving in. It's such a mess. I'm sorry, but we're moving into this old house. And my daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend, except for it feels really real. Obviously, it's an imaginary friend, but it's been weirding me out. And I'm wondering if something is triggering it or why it's happening. So I put this camera down and I'm just gonna let it run and we'll see. I just want to see what's going on.
Also, like, why is everything arranged? This is a child's room. Everything should not be arranged so neatly. And why is there a tissue box on the floor in the middle of everything else?
You know? I know you understand this, right?
Also, where's the child?
Not crazy. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Hey guys, so I really appreciate all your comments and questions, and I don't know that I have answers, but I really, if I can't answer you, I will, and I thank you. Okay. Hey guys, so I really appreciate all your comments and questions, and I don't know that I have answers, but I really...
I hear a noise in the background. It just, I don't buy it, you know? All right, let's see. Earliest one was uploaded October. I mean, all of this takes place over the course of, like, a week, you know? Here, let's see. Way back. What's the oldest we can get on here? Has not archived that URL. Of course it hasn't. What about this? What do we do this? What now? Damn it.
Hey.
Like, something about this is off. Like this isn't the original account that posted
guys,
them,
so
maybe?
I really appreciate all your comments. And
like, something's not right about this. Not in a, like, super problematic way, just like...
So, I am unpacking. I know it's a little early for Christmas, but is it ever really too early for Christmas? I'm such a geek, but I wanted to show you some of my Christmas decorations. I've got a little nutcracker. I have a big nutcracker.
Hang on.
You know what?
Okay, so... search images Google. Oh my god. Stop! Stop moving that shit. There we go. Trying to see if there's anything that comes up. With like other videos. Probably not, but worth a shot.
Hey guys, so I really appreciate all your comments and questions, and I don't know that I have answers.
All right, hang on. Hang on. No, this appears to be the original. Why would you not, like, why post this and not say,
hey, so we are just moving in.
What it's from, you know?
Literally, it's such a mess. I'm sorry, but
Nah, not the same girl.
but I really, if I can't answer you, I will, and I thank you. Okay. Hey guys.
See exact matches. I mean, I see it. So what's interesting about this to me, everything about it is in Spanish. It's all in Spanish. And one in an Eastern Asian script. I mean, this is all 2023, 2023, 2023. Is that the same account? Now, hang on. All right. This is the profile. Where's the video, though? Why are you... Yeah, watch now. That's not the video. That's not the video I clicked, though. Like, that's just straight up not the video I clicked. Ah, how do I get out of it? I barely know how to use TikTok on my phone, let alone on a computer. Sheesh. Alright, La Caja Fantasma. This would have been... This was posted... 2023, so I mean... Like, chances are... Ah, here we go.
Moving in.
Okay, yeah, so this is just a Spanish language copy. All right. So my question is, why did this only go viral in Mexico? Like, it didn't go viral in the American media at all. The videos themselves don't appear to have gone viral. But they're all over Mexican media. Like, I almost feel like the videos have to be from something else. You know, that's why I'm trying to see if, like, I can find an origin. But everything's coming back as nothing. I mean, the weird part for me is that this account is so small.
Hey guys, so.
And I mean, all of the comments are from 2023. But Nukes, I mean, how did Nukes get a hold of this? You know?
It feels beautiful and funny. What are you guys doing? Come on, Chris.
Also, like, this video is no longer uploaded. I will say, I think the answer to the quality issue could be something pretty simple. I think it might just be that this was a TikTok and he had to blow it up. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true, but how did he end up with it, you know? I mean, maybe he's got fans in Mexico, but... I mean, that's the other thing is, like, this video... How did Nukes get a hold of this video? Because this isn't on the page, and it's not archived on the Wayback Machine. Did somebody save it and send it to him? And then, you know... Because here's the thing. Here's what's got me. Here's what's got me befuddled. Nukes posts this... 2 years after the account stops posting. Like, is this from the Mexican one? Was this the one? It was not. That's Leo Lords. No, not that one. Where did it go? I had it. I forget how I got there, though. There we go. I mean, maybe... I guess it could be the Spanish one, yeah. Based on how it's all cut up. I mean, what do we got here? Do we have the... No, because... there's no watermark. Yeah, there's no watermark. What? Alright. I'm not gonna overthink it.
2 footsteps can be heard before the closet door slowly opens on its own. You were conversations with someone in her sleep. After hearing some strange noises coming from the elderly woman's room, the concerned caregiver keeps a close eye on the bedroom security camera as the woman sleeps. It's late at night, and Mrs. Tennyson is all alone when she spots something downright creepy.
Every night I'm at work, I be thinking I'm tripping. But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed?
Well, that's the weird thing is like, why just hide the video and not delete the account? If you're not going to post on it anymore ever again, was it just like was it an attempt at an analog horror and it just didn't take off, so they stopped?
But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed?
No.
But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? Like, I know for a fact this goes to my client's house. I be seeing, keep moving, like right there under the bed. I be seeing, you see it keep moving, like right there under the bed. It's moving back and forth. You see it? It's ghost in my client's house. Look under her bed.
Hang on, it pops up in the upper right.
In my client's house. Look under.
It pops up here in the upper right.
Her bed. It'll come out and go back. Now she in bed sleep, she ain't moved an ounce. But do you see how it keep coming out, going back in?
I mean, the fact that it's being recorded directly from the VTech device on a phone does make me wonder.
This is no joke.
Something can be seen moving around on the floor beside the bed, even though the elderly woman has no dogs or cats.
So, it could be an insect flying in front of the camera lens really close. That's the only thing I can really think of here.
After the video is posted to TikTok, viewers wonder whether the woman was visited by a deceased pet or loved one. Caregiver Mrs. Tennyson confirmed that the woman's husband has passed away. So could this be a visit from the woman's deceased husband?
This is what they're seeing, is this thing down here.
Or some other loved one or pet?
Like, my only thing is that it's something floating in front of the camera, because it looks like it goes over this nightstand and over the blankets, like, not between them.
Hiding in plain sight. Now, unfortunately, this next creepy video was shared to the internet without a source.
That's always great
news. Paranormal
news.
Investigation of allegedly cursed objects in a haunted house. Using a thermal imaging camera, he looks around the room to check for any fluctuations in temperature. Instead, he sees something that makes his blood run cold.
What the hell? What is that?
That's just a dude in sunglasses. That's literally a dude in sunglasses and a baseball cap.
What the?
The thermal imaging camera shows a childlike face peeking out from the cupboard in front of him. But when he looks up from the camera, there's no one there. Not only that, but there's absolutely no room for anyone to be hiding behind those cupboards.
Hang on.
Investigation of allegedly cursed objects in a haunted house. Using a thermal imaging camera, he looks around the room to check for any fluctuations in temperature. Instead, he sees something that makes his blood run cold.
What the hell? What is that? What the?
Yeah, no, I don't buy it. Just don't buy it. It just doesn't seem real, and the fact that there's no source, no.
You decide.
No.
Out of hand. This next creepy video was sent in by Nuke Stop 5 viewer Craig Davis from Sydney, Australia.
I was saying it's going to be the last one we do.
Late one night, babysitting his one-year-old son. He checks his son's baby monitor and sees something truly chilling. Did you see it? On the right side, near the bottom of the frame, a small childlike hand can be seen entering the one-year-old's crib and then immediately pulling back away. Craig says that he and his wife only have one child, their son, but they believe that the spirit of a young girl haunts their home.
Well, no, hang on. Do you have a cat?
On the right side,
I'm gonna be honest, it looks like there's a cat there. Like, that straight up looks like it's a cat.
Did you see it? On the right side, near the bottom of the frame, a small childlike hand can be seen entering the one-year-old's crib.
Maybe not a cat, but it definitely looks smaller than him. I mean, it almost looks like a doll's hand.
And then immediately pulling back away. Craig can be seen entering the... On the right side, near the bottom of the frame, a small childlike hand can be seen entering the one-year-old's crib.
Like, that seems too small to be a child's hand.
And then immediately pulling back away. Craig says that he and his wife only have one child, their son, but they believe that the spirit of a young girl haunts their home. Craig says that they have had many strange paranormal experiences in their house over the last 10 years. The Melbourne Zombie. Amber Carter.
That was really quick. All right, we'll do this one too.
From Melbourne, Australia, and her friend Tiana.
I gotta say, Nukes is kind of tanking in quality. I feel like all the videos are just kind of like, yeah, okay. All right, cool, I guess.
Are parked at McDonald's and enjoying their food when suddenly something happens that absolutely scares the shit out of them.
Hi. Oh my god, Tiana, go. Go. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Tiana. Tiana, go.
Tiana are parked at McDonald's and enjoying their food when Amber is in their house in Australia and her friend Tiana scares the shit out of them.
Hi.
I mean, that's just a guy. That's just a dude. Like, I don't want to meet this dude, but that is in fact just a man.
Oh my god, Tiana, go. Go. Tiana. Tiana. Oh my god, oh my god.
Amber says that the creepy woman came up to her window from behind the car.
Sorry, it's a woman.
And attempted to open the passenger door several times. Amber says that she was so startled by the woman's appearance that at first glance she thought she was a zombie. Now, the mysterious woman certainly isn't a zombie, but after Amber shared her experience online, locals in the Melbourne area have come out and said that they too have seen this woman and that she's known to try to open doors to cars and even apartments and houses. So sometimes it's good to remember to keep your doors locked at all times.
Sounds like she's probably just like a crazy person.
Or
like a homeless, like a mentally ill homeless person, you know?
She just
not saying that in like a negative way, just seems like that's the case.
I get ya.
See a lot of that in Kensington.
Oh my god.
Kensington, Philadelphia.
Yeah, go. Go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
These are all so short.
We need scary vet email.
Yeah, no kidding,
disturbed and starts barking and howling at something outside. Ada and his family are worried that they might have a potential intruder lurking just outside their house. So they quickly check their security camera footage. What they see in their backyard shocks them to their core.
I don't think that one was fake. That seemed legit to me. It's just like, I mean, laughter is from an evolutionary perspective. Laughter is a fear response. That's why a lot of people laugh when they're scared or nervous, particularly nervous. You've probably noticed yourself doing this, because smiling in primates, at least in some primates, is basically a way of showing submission or friendliness. That's why we smile at each other. It's to show that we're, hey, we're good. A lot of people will laugh when they're nervous as a fear response.
Sa AG ko pala, ipapakita ko sa inyo guys kung ano yung nakuha ng CCTV namin noong 2019 pa. Ayan, October 14, 2019. So, ngayon ko lang siya binidyoan or pinakita sa inyo kasi...
Why was every other word of the video in a foreign language, foreign language to me, but like, except for the date? Why? Why say the date in English?
Hinanap ko talaga...
It's the one part none of us need help reading.
Itong video na to, yung record ng CCTV namin noon sa bahay ng parents ko. So, ayan, ipapakita ko sa inyo guys kung ano yung nakuha ng CCTV namin. Tingnan nyo guys sa 10/29/17. Okay? Tingnan nyo dito, may lalabas dito na...
What language is he speaking?
Parang usok, tapos mabilis siyang pupunta dito. Okay, wait na.
It sounds... Is it Portuguese?
Natin mag 17.
Why is he saying the numbers in English?
Okay, wait lang natin 17 seconds.
Okay, cool. We're just back to full English.
17 seconds. Ayun. Okay, back natin.
Weird.
17. Tingnan nyo dito. Ayun. Kita nyo? Ulitin natin. 17. Ayun, sobrang bilis niya. Tapos yung pangalawang nagpakita siya is 10:30. Tingnan nyo dito, mag-20 dyan. Tapos sa time na to, parang lumalakad na lang siya. Tingnan nyo, parang usok. Tapos, nawala siya dito. Balik natin. Ayan. Di ba? Sa mga hindi pa naniniwala na may mga espiritu talaga na gumagala sa bahay natin, sa labas man o loob ng bahay. So ito na, nakita ko na.
The security footage shows a translucent white shape that seems to walk back and forth through their backyard, randomly appearing and disappearing right in front of the camera. But when the family goes outside to check, there's no one there. They don't see or hear anyone nearby. Only their family dog seems to be able to detect this strange presence. Aja believes that they accidentally captured proof of a ghostly presence.
Kellen, I love that you just said the first time I was mortared. Like, not the time, the first time. Cool. Yeah, this is like, this one I'll admit, I mean, it's definitely possible that he edited it. You know, that this would not be a particularly difficult thing to edit in. What I will say is that looking at the pace, like the way that cars move and everything in the background, it does generally seem like the apparition is moving at the proper frame rate.
2019 pa. Ayan, October 14, 2019. So, ngayon ko lang siya binidyoan or pinakita sa inyo kasi hinanap ko talaga tong video na to, yung record ng CCTV namin noon sa bahay ng parents ko. So, ayan, papakita ko sa inyo guys kung ano yung nakuha ng CCTV namin. Tingnan nyo guys sa 10:29:17. Okay? Tingnan nyo dito, may lalabas dito na parang usok. Tapos mabilis siyang papunta.
What are those little yellow lines?
Mabilis siyang papunta dito. Okay, wait natin mag-17. Okay, wait lang natin
no. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell. It looked for a second. I thought I saw a car drive by in the background, but maybe it was just one of those little zips.
17 seconds.
No, see, yeah, it was right there. Yeah, something. If you look over here, ready? Watch.
Okay, wait lang natin 17 seconds.
Yeah, whatever that light was, whatever was carrying that light, it was moving at the proper frame rate.
Ayun. Okay, back natin. 70. Tingnan nyo dito. Ayun. Tingnan nyo. Ulitin natin. 7.
This one's weird. I will admit this one is strange.
Captured proof of a ghostly presence haunting the family. But what do you think this is? Let me know. All
right. I have got to go pay attention to my girlfriend, and then I have to get more work done. So, it has been very real. Unfortunately, I will not be on tomorrow. You can see me tomorrow. I will be on Pop Culture Crisis. But we do have our third part of the Sebastian Rogers series coming out. That drops at 4 p.m. I'm going to tell you right now, this one it's the longest in the series, and it is by far the most willing to make claims in the series. So I'm interested to see what you guys think. I know there's going to be a bit of a shitstorm with some of the true crime community, because they're probably not going to like what I have to say, especially the people who are pro Chris Proudfoot. But I'm looking forward to putting it out. I'll say that much. Yeah, so for those of you who hung out tonight, thank you very much. It was cool to see over 100 of you here for so long. And yeah, tomorrow, catch the video, and I will be back to my normal streaming schedule next week. All right, see you guys. If I can find the button for it. All right, JMO, give me 1 second. Give me a second. Ow! I hit my leg. God. Come on. Come on. Ow. Hit myself in the head. Okay. All right. This is... It's backwards. It's backwards. You just want me to open up to the first page? Oh! Well. That's, I'm not sure what to make of what I'm looking at. Hey, yo? Huh? Huh? Well, I guess in this circumstance, traps aren't gay. A lot going on in here. All right, there is an androgynous naked fairy boy. Hey, JMO, am I gonna be mentally okay after I finish this? I'm frightened of this book. I am frightened of this book. It seems kind of like generally like The Witcher? Like the same general vibe to it? Oh, the nude fairy boy stays for a while. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to need therapy after this, but I promised you I'd read it. Okay. Good night.